Good evening and welcome to another episode of FILAM Civic Action, a podcast dedicated to socio-economic issues that are happening within the Filipino community here in Las Vegas, in the USA, and in the Philippines. I'm Ernie Buo.
And I'm Bing Longakit. Tonight's episode, entitled Bridging Progress, the Legacy of Filipino Engineers and Their Contributions to Global Infrastructure, focuses on Filipino civil engineers as they celebrate the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers, or PICE USA chapter's induction of newly elected officers, board of directors, and committee members.
Thank you, Bing. For tonight's episode, we have invited three, as in three, not one, not two, but three prime movers of PICE USA, all highly recognized civil engineers making waves in their respective chosen fields of specialization. Our first guest is Engineer Irene Paala Owens, the beautiful Irene, the current president of PICE USA and a supervisory interdisciplinary engineer at NAVFAC Southwest, and Irene will tell you what that is, leading a team of 10 engineering technicians. Engineer I, we endearingly call her I, is a licensed professional civil engineer in the state of Nevada and in the Philippines, and lives in Camarillo, California. Irene also holds a certification as project management professional at an Asia Economic Cooperation, or an APEC engineer. Welcome, Irene.
Thank you, Bob.
Welcome, Irene.
Thank you.
Now, our second guest is Engineer Angelo Perez, a brainy engineer who was the chair of the 2024 PICE USA Committee on Chapter Affairs. Engineer Angelo is a graduate of Mapua Institute of Technology, or MIT, and the owner and principal of South Bay Consulting Engineers, LLC. He also has a master's degree in civil engineering.
And of course, our third but not the least guest is Cromwell Lamog, the current business manager of PICE USA. Cromwell is a project supervisor and a current traffic operation engineer at the Road Commission for Oakland County.
Yes.
Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
He holds a master's degree in civil engineering from Lawrence Technological University and is a licensed civil engineer in the Philippines. It's such a pleasure to have three of the most distinguished civil engineers.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much. Thank you.
Filipino
Welcome,
civil
everyone.
engineers at that.
Thank you
Now,
so
we
much.
are-
We're glad to be
We
here.
are very
Thank you.
honored to have these excellent engineers tonight. Now, Engineer Irene, as the current president of PICE USA, can you update us on what has been going on in your organization and the projects that you are planning to undertake during your administration? Yes.
First of all, thank you very much
Yes,
for
Irene.
inviting us. It's really a pleasure. On behalf of PICE USA, we are grateful that you invited us. Just a brief introduction about our organization.
Yes.
Our organization is recognized by PICE National and become an international charter I-11 on
Correct.
2017, right, Ernie?
Yes,
And then
yes.
after 2 years, the state of Nevada, we been a non-profit organization for 501c6.
C6?
And, yeah.
Not C3.
No,
No,
C6.
okay.
Kasi mayayaman
We're
sila.
professional now.
I know.
Now, this year, as from that, we growed, and this year we are focused on our member welfare. You know, we give free webinars. Last month, we just finished an intro to NCES, and then, of course, tomorrow we will have
The induction.
induction and the webinar series number 2 with Engineer Lamog, one of our speaker.
And Irene, where is this going to be?
It will be on Westgate,
Westgate.
Casino Hotel.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And we are all invited.
Yes.
Yeah, I will be there.
Yeah, and-
Engineer Bua invited me, and a few of our FASAI officers will be there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we will be really honored. We're so
We're
looking forward to it.
excited. So
What else?
Not,
Yeah.
not of course, we have 14 scholars right now that we
Yes.
granted.
I was one of the
Great.
interviewers.
Yeah,
And they are
that's
in the
really-
Philippines. These are engineering
Yeah.
students in the
Yes.
Philippines,
Yeah.
right?
Third year college until fourth year college, and one is a reviewing for
The board exam.
Board
right?
exam.
Yeah.
For civil engineers.
Yeah, so we
Yes.
have like this year 65 applicants, and
Wow.
we're hoping that the 14 become 25 or before my
Yeah.
end term or more.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
so proud of the achievements of the PIC USA. And by the way, the main founder of this is Engineer Girly Borbor.
Girly-
She
Oh,
happens
I
to
know
be
her.
the engineer in charge of that
Maryland
the
Parkway.
Maryland Parkway,
project,
the
yeah.
transit project there. So great projects we have in line, Irene, as you know.
We also have
Yeah.
one more. Of course, we on our
Okay.
committee, we
Yeah.
also have committee in public affairs.
Who's the head of that committee?
Engineer Angelo. who
Oh,
is
yeah,
here
he will be
tonight,
explaining it
who's
further, yeah.
Explaining the Bangbangalan Elementary School. So
Okay.
we also want to give back to the community to make
Yeah.
to know what we're engineers. We build and we design. So
Yeah.
that's our community project.
Wow,
if
very
they can
noble,
only-
noble projects.
If they
Yeah.
can only hear our hymn, PIC hymn, it's so nice. Angelo, would you like to expand on what Irene said?
Yes, magandang hapon
Magandang-
po o gabi o umaga sa saan man po kayo naroon.
Yes.
Kami po ay mga engineers coming from originally in the Philippines pero nagpa-practice ngayon dito sa US of A. At sa aming organization, it helps to have this kind of organization para maka-network natin yung ating mga talented engineers din. So, in the transition period is very critical during the transition period, moving from wherever you are in the Philippines or in the Middle East. When you get here in the United States of America, you will feel you don't have everything at your disposal or at your hand. So networking with PICE is a good opportunity to get to know our other successful engineers, members, and we have opportunities to attend or conduct seminars at inaanyayahan namin lahat ng mga FILAMs na engineers. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's really great, Angelo.
Very, very
you know?
impressive. Napakagaling
Yeah.
engineer
Oh,
Angelo.
But you know what? I was just wondering, Angelo, what inspired you to pursue a career in civil engineering? And I know that you're from Mapua.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I think for the most part, dahil yung aking association or interest in mathematics and then curiosity sa mga structures. So I thought that's a good way to have some career. So I tried it out and I got lucky too in Mapua. So to enter the
Of course,
university.
you're very smart.
So and everything comes part by part or in succession. So yeah.
Magaling. I know Mapua engineering graduates are the best
Always top
in the
notcher.
Philippines. Thank you, Engineer Angelo. Now, Engineer Cromwell, can
Yes,
you
sir.
share a defining moment in your career that shaped your perspective as a civil engineer?
So, I've always regarded myself as someone who's strategic and futuristic.
Yes.
So, I know for a fact that civil engineers are innate. It's innate in them that they are strategic and futuristic.
Correct.
So something that has changed my perspective in civil engineering actually is the fact that civil engineers always puts into perspective the safety of everything that they build, whether it's a building, whether it's an urban road, whether it's a multiple
Correct.
lane freeway. The number one factor that civil engineers put into perspective is the safety factor.
Correct.
Safety ba ang mga gagamit ng building natin? safe ba para sa mga drivers natin ang gamitin ang mga roads natin. And as a civil engineer, I want to be part of that, team in building the safety of the structures that the public use actually.
Mark,
Just a follow-up question for Engineer Cromwell.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference? There's so many engineering fields, right?
Right,
There's
yeah.
civil engineering, mechanical engineering. What's uniquely civil? Like, how is it different from all the other engineering
because
fields?
I
no,
feel-
but I think because we're the best, right, Cromwell?
Aside from that,
Handsome and ano pa.
I'm handsome
Looking.
too.
Yes, Engineer Cromwell.
yeah. But for me, I think the most important thing, we are considered civil engineers because we build the gap.
I see.
Sino ang mga nagbi-build at nagdi-design ng mga tulay?
Correct.
Civil engineers. And what is a bridge? A bridge is a structure that gaps
I
point
see.
A and point B. So that's what I would consider as, why we're different, because
Correct.
we
Connecting bridges.
We connect. You
connect
connect.
Yeah.
the gap.
Yeah, but civil engineering is so broad. Anything that has water, anything that has steel, anything that has cement, and anything that has wood.
Oh,
is
really?
Civil engineering.
Yes, we
Now
have.
I know.
Yeah,
We
that's
have 7
This is very
special.
very broad.
educational.
Yes.
Yeah, we have 7 specialty
Yeah.
right
Fields,
now.
yeah.
Fields.
So-
So, water engineering,
Yeah.
the project management and construction. Si Kuya Ernie is in the water.
Yeah,
diba?
water and wastewater.
Wastewater.
So,
Yeah.
Transportation
So
engineering.
road engineering,
Transportation,
transportation, right?
construction for
Yeah.
Angelo.
Well,
and
I thought civil is more like in the marriage thing. Like civil marriage is different from church marriage.
So
that too.
Actually, I want to add something
Second,
too.
ano?
I
Yeah.
want to add
Yes,
something
Engineer
too.
Cromwell.
Yeah.
So, sa lahat ng engineering po,
Okay. Cromwell,
whether it's
yeah.
ECE, Electronics and Communications Engineer, Electrical Engineer, Mechanical Engineer, Geodetic Engineer, ang civil engineer po kasi may pagka-architecture yan.
Correct.
yeah.
Kasi tayo pong mga civil engineer, hindi lang po natin dinidesign yung structural component ng isang structure, dinodrawing pa natin.
Oh,
I mean,
see.
kaya kung
Yeah.
isipin mo kung talagang civil engineer ang pinag-uusapan, hindi lang sila magaling mag-design, structurally speaking, magaling rin silang mag-draft. Right?
That's correct. Yeah, going back to your engineer Irene, the very brainy and beautiful Irene. Okay, what challenges did you face as a Filipino engineer working on international projects like here in the USA, and how did you overcome them and eventually gain the respect of those working under you?
So first, it's really, we all know that civil engineering is a man's world, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
yeah.
being a female, and of course sometimes international projects, sometimes I'm the only Filipino, right?
And a female at that,
Here-
right?
here in
A
Nevada.
female
Yeah.
and a Filipino. So basically sometimes they look at me or they're not impressed sometimes you physically or sometimes
So
because
you
we
have to
speak.
prove yourself harder than
they
the men.
underestimate me, but at the end of the day, I make sure that I know the job. I process and I proactive in problem solving. So hindi naman po over isang snap lang
That's true.
they can see your potential, right? It's an overtime. It's gradually, and you
So
just
you
need
work
to
hard.
prove.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, I work harder than somebody.
That's true. We
'cause-
have
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
because we have to constantly prove
Right,
ourselves.
right.
Yeah.
Right, Engineer Irene, it must have been really hard for you to be in the man's world,
Yes.
working as civil engineer in the
Yes.
man's world. So, how about you, Engineer Angelo? How do you think Filipino engineers are perceived globally in the civil engineering field?
Well, from the records will say na maraming Filipino engineers na successful sa Middle East, sa Singapore, sa Asia, sa Pacific region, here also in the United States. So we are known to be dedicated, hard worker, and follows the rule and
Smart.
and goes to work consistently. So that's a good plus. Those are the kind of personalities that employers are looking for. It's very hard to find that in other nationalities. So being a Filipino engineer is a big plus for us.
I see.
Yes,
Yep.
that's
It's a cultural thing. Like
Correct.
Filipinos are hardworking, resilient. We can easily adapt to different environment.
that's great,
That's a really
Angelo.
good
Yeah.
thing. And another thing too is we speak English.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, good
Yeah.
English.
Yeah, that's really great, Angelo. As an engineer, as a civil engineer myself, I can't help but be proud of the achievements of Filipino engineers working anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
We are
Yeah.
so resilient, just like what Attorney Bing said. We are innovative and extremely hard working.
Yes.
So, going back to you, Engineer Cromwell.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what lessons have you learned throughout your career that you would like to pass on to the next generation?
So, I think the most important lesson that I've learned that I wanted to pass to the next generation is the virtue of caring. I think the virtue of caring and the virtue of the fact that, you know, everything that you do, it will come back to you. So, in civil engineering, there's always these three equations that we've always considered in structural. Summation of forces X equals 0. Going to the right is positive, going to the left is
There you go.
negative. Summation of forces Y equals 0,
Yeah.
going upwards is positive,
Correct.
going downwards is negative. I'm
moments?
saying this because
Yes.
in every action,
Yeah.
there's
It's
always an equal and opposite reaction
Correct.
to
Yeah.
everything that you do. And in like manner, in life, prinsipyo, kung ano yung ginawa mo sa kapwa-tao mo, babalik sa yan. So in civil engineering, gusto kong i-relate ito na we care, we should care, at saka it's the virtue of, you know, there's always that equal and opposite reaction in everything that we do.
True.
Right.
That's I agree. Yeah.
So it's like Newton's law. If in every action there is an equal and opposite
opposite
reaction,
reaction, yeah.
right? So perseverance and hard work are indeed virtues that will successfully carry you throughout your journey professionally. Now, I would like the three of you to answer me on my next question. This is like the Miss Universe pageant. What do
The
you
last
hope?
three questions.
Okay, for the three of you, what do you hope your legacy will be in the field of civil engineering? Let's start with the beautiful engineer Irene.
Thank you for that wonderful question.
You got 1 minute.
I want to remember
Yes.
not just the structure that I built, but also I empowered someone or an individual that I guide. Sabi nga nila, dapat balance.
Balance,
You know,
correct.
Yeah,
hindi
that's
lagi
true.
kang there is always the mind and the heart.
Yes,
You know?
That's true.
but it's not
And-
always for you.
Yes,
It should
and
be
I
for
hope
others
my
as well.
legacy embodies the balance of the technical excellent and the human connection. Sabi nga kanina ni Engineer Lamog, we're building bridges to connect from A to B. So that's how I want my legacy, the integrity,
Excellent, yeah.
the mentorship, and the lasting impact.
Yes,
Yeah. Pag
that's really
sinabi
good.
nila, si Ma'am Irene.
Yes.
There are
That's
two
true.
things that generally people remember about engineers: the buildings they build and the
Yeah.
buildings that collapsed.
Yes.
collapsed because
Yeah.
of them.
Now, how about
How about
Engineer
you?
Angelo?
Yeah, how about you, Engineer Angelo? What do you hope your legacy will be in the field of engineering?
Well, I hope that what stands out is my being true to the profession, true to myself, true to the clients, and true to the people around us. Na hardworking and always there, even though walang budget, walang income, and always trying to help, always trying to learn. So life is always a learning lesson. So you learn whatever circumstances you're in. So I'm being able to mentor some of the young engineers.
Yes.
Like now at my stage, that's more good things that I can remember.
Thank you, Engineer Angelo. Great insights. Now, Engineer Cromwell, how about you?
So, as a project engineer supervisor for the Road Commission for Oakland County, I actually work with people that I supervise on a daily basis. So one of the legacies that I wanted to pass into them is, the things that I've taught them, how we mentor the people who works with us. Hopefully they've learned something that would make them better as, as technicians, inspectors, or maybe as entry-level engineers. But at the same time, when I work with them, I just don't teach them about, this is what you do when you pour concrete. This is what you do when you lay out the road. This is what you do when you when you design a road. It's not about that. I also talk to them about inner life. Ano ba ang gagawin natin para bumuti ang mga buhay natin? And if I've taught them something that could change their lives, masaya na ako doon. I think I've earned that legacy.
Very well said, Cromwell.
Salamat po.
Yeah, very well said.
So,
Once again,
I
thank
guess
you everyone for
we're-
gracing our show today, despite your extremely
Busy
busy schedule.
schedule. Yes.
Due to the PIC USA's very important event that's happening Saturday, April 12th. And today's April 11th.
11th.
Yes.
That's
That's
8th, that's
tomorrow
tomorrow
night,
night. So, thank you so much. And Engineer Irene,
Yes.
can you tell us again what the event is for and where it is going to be held and who are attending aside from Dr. Paleracio, myself,
Yes.
and Attorney Bing?
And me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to invite everybody again. Tomorrow we will have, in the morning, we will have a webinar, and Engineer Cromwell is one of our technical speaker. And also my husband will be
Yeah.
the second technical speaker,
Yeah.
TJ Owens.
TJ will be there.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
gonna talk
yeah.
about road safety and 3D printing in the civil engineering
Wow.
world.
Irene's husband
Yeah.
is a civil and engineer
Engineer
and
as well.
And
architect.
architect,
Oh.
Yeah.
structural pa.
A good
Structural
combination.
also, very
good
smart
combination.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then in the evening at 6 o'clock, so be on time because our dinner is 6:15.
Oh, be there on
Okay.
time.
On time.
6 p.m.
Filipino
Okay.
time.
We'll be there before that.
Unlike today.
For sure. Yes.
So, kidding aside, it will be an induction of the 2025 PIC USA Chapter Board of Directors, new committees, new members on 6 p.m. and we will enjoy the night. We will have karaoke, king and
And
queen,
dancing. Oh.
with,
Dancing, dance.
Look forward to that.
yes.
Dancing. Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah,
dancing.
We have bingos. and
We have
we'll-
Attorney Bing. He will
Yes.
be teaching line
Line
dancing
dances.
again.
Yes.
Yes, I can do that.
So, well, I hope you can come.
Well, congratulations, Engineer
Excited.
Irene, to all the officers, board of directors, committee members, and the entire PICE USA for this momentous event. Here's wishing decades of celebration for the accomplishments of your endeavors. Till next time, this is Bing Longakit, and
Thank you, Bing.
yes.
Before we end this episode, we would like to acknowledge and express our heartfelt gratitude not only to
Oh, yes.
Engineer Irene, Engineer Angelo, and Engineer Cromwell, but also to our very energetic, very generous, and good-hearted dentist, Dr. Philip Paleracio,
Our executive
and
producer.
our executive producer, and the Dental Center of Nevada, located at 601 South Rancho Drive, Suite B15, Las Vegas, Nevada 89106. Until next time, stay healthy, stay informed, and take care.
Bye now.
Thank you.
Until our next
Goodbye.
episode.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Those
you.
people from
Irene.
Siargao,
Thank you.
Maradona Diyum sa Iso Tanan, how about in Bicol?
I
How
want
do you
Kapampangan and
Oh.
Tagalog.
Go say it.
Paano ba
How do
niya
you
pa Kapampangan? Maya panabakit kayo nga.
Yeah,
Yes!
And
At
Cebu,
Cebu.
mayong gabi o may buntag sa inyong tanan.
Salamat ka sa Siargao. Bye-bye. Until next time. See
Bye
you.
now.
Bye.
And thank you, Johan, the owner of PHLV.